Camera on, mic on, audio on. Are you guys on? Yes, let's start it. So this is the moment we have been waiting for 2.5 years. Almost three. Okay, cool. And here we are to tell the world that we are ready. We are cocooning out of a cocoon. We are out of the stealth mode. We are ready to serve the world. Sounded like a serious intro. Anyways, welcome to QET podcast. So this is going to be a very special moment in our life. So because we are launching something today that we are very proud of and pretty excited, and I'm also a little ashamed that it took us a little longer to launch this. That's because we had a lot of failure, a lot of learning, and we hope to share it here in the podcast. This is QuizX team, and we are QuizX. So here we are launching our first product that's called Campus. We chose to do a product launch over a podcast for a number of reasons. One of the reason is being, I mean, usually products are launched through stage event or maybe in the clubs or pubs. But first thing is we don't have a budget and courage to do that. And this indicates we are a very frugal company. And this is, I'm saying for the investors that we would utilize your money very wisely because we're a very frugal company. Through podcast, uh, launching a product through a podcast is going to be, it's a different alternative to launching from stage event. So this indicates we are doing things differently at QuizX. So we are we do things differently. And thirdly is through a podcast we can go into things a lot deeper. Unlike stage event where you are bound by time restrictions. So with podcast we can get into the detail and suggesting we love details. QuizX digs deeper, thinks deeper, goes deeper. We dig deep, yeah. So another thing is about QuizX is through podcast we can be open about a lot of stuff, a lot of things, and we can talk casually. There's no pressure from a stage event, so suggesting we are a fun yet serious company. And another thing is that through podcast we can put forward our imagination, which could be abstract. We can speak about ideas. We can brainstorm right here in the podcast, suggesting that QuizX is driven by imagination. Through podcast, we want to teach, we would like to express our failures, learnings, our journey through the founders and upcoming founders and builders who want to create stuff. So, suggesting the core of our identity, we share knowledge transfer, knowledge sharing, um, quality. So we are an educational company. Another thing about launching a product or a podcast is it's kind of experimental for us. We have not tried this. We don't know how it's gonna go. And suggesting we are an experimental company, we are not scared to try it anyway. And if this goes well, I think we will be launching a product uh, like in the future through the podcast itself. Anyways, let's get started. So, but okay, this is a team, and we are QuizX. We'll have a team intro now. Cool. We'll start with Nirmal. Tell us about yourself, and you can take as long as you want. You can share anything. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I'm Nirmal George Matthew. Yeah, by the name you could have guessed that I'm a Mallu. But yeah, I've been living in Mangalore for the past 23 years. And then, I met Clinton through a quiz contest. So basically, me and my friend Shreyas, so we had a quiz competition in my college. And we came first in it. And that's how we...
How was the quiz?
The quiz was fantastic. And the brownies especially.
Okay, thank you.
Brownies, I remember the brownies more. And then we used to stay in touch. Like I used to attend many other
You
quiz
used to follow
contests.
our Instagram page.
And then we came to, we participated in a couple of quiz contests. Then,
That's how you guys became my fan. Okay.
then, one day you asked, like, you put a story in Instagram about creating something
Yeah,
new,
something
something
great. Yeah,
great.
this
Yeah,
is
during
what we
lockdown
yeah.
actually.
Mhm.
Then that's how I pinged you.
Yeah,
That's how,
yeah,
and
yeah.
here I am now. Yeah.
Yeah, here he is. So I think uh, when I look back, we bonded really well.
Hmm.
You know how? Because of our love for a few. I mean, our favorite font,
Futura.
Futura. So
Oh
we
yeah.
both like the Futura. So that's how we kind of bonded. Okay, this guy has a taste in design. Okay, and Nirmal is the guy I tell my design to is my design. Sorry, not design. Okay, design and idea support system. So whenever idea pops up and all the abstract sketches I have, Nirmal materializes into Figma screens. And I still remember we used to, stare at Figma screens and saying, "Wow, man! Wow, damn!"
Yeah, I actually learned to
Yeah.
use Figma because of like by
Yeah.
learning how to. I mean,
Yeah.
based on our brainstorming and.
Correct. You joined QuizX when you were final year in engineering, right? Third year.
Third year, yeah,
So
third year,
yeah,
like
third
when
year.
COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
2020,
And
yeah.
when I asked you to make screens, even I didn't know much about it. Screens were back then weren't that good, but I knew you were gonna pick it up, like pick up really fast. So you have, I mean, I've seen your progress. What do you guys say? Like
I was thinking about the same
yeah,
actually.
yeah. So me and Subodh were saying, looking at your first screen, oh, this isn't like enough to get into the market. No, it's like, we will figure out.
It's professional. It looked professional since the beginning.
Yeah.
You know.
Now you have seen Nirmal's progress.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it's like really great. Um, I wanted to say this. Yeah, you have done like you have learned a lot. In a
Yeah, the
very
learning
less
was
time.
mutual.
Yeah, great. So that's about Nirmal. Let's move on to our next engineer. We have Rilwan. Yes, tell us about yourself.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I am Rilwan ul Haq and I'm from Mangalore. I'm not literally from Mangalore, but yeah, we call ourselves Mangaloreans, right?
Yeah.
Even though
Right.
yeah. So I met Clinton was my classmate in high school, and we have been friends since then. And also he was my batchmate in my undergrads. Then I went on to do my post graduation, and after when I started my job, then I and Clinton, we went for a trek maybe. Yeah, there we discussed a lot about life and on so on, knowledge, etc., etc. Then I was fascinated with the idea that Clinton is coming with something that is related to education system. So I really, as Indians, we all are really, fed up with our education system since by looking at the what is it?
Yeah, the syllabus itself.
Yeah, syllabus, the quality, the innovation we have, it's really not
It
up
sucks.
to the it sucks. So we wanted to build something that revolutionizes the education system, and there I could relate with the Clinton about the platform where we could give the users and users to bring out their real potential and and
Here we are.
here we are.
Okay.
Right.
So, another thing is,
What do you do at QuizX?
what I do at QuizX is I am a front-end engineer. So I develop apps, also
I
maybe
deny
architect.
that actually. Rilwan is an all-rounder.
Yeah, Rilwan is all wrong.
Yeah.
He takes interview. He develops front end, back end
Back-end,
designs,
Yeah,
testing,
yeah,
even deploy.
He is too humble also.
Too humble also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also cooks.
So it has been a very big learning curve for me. Initially I thought that we are gonna get things. They were in the lockdown. We had a crypto bubble. I thought I'll make money in the crypto and we'll do a company and we'll get investors. So we'll be millionaires in maybe 1 or 2 years. So that was a big very ambitious. No, we learned a lot, and even I thought we were in a very what do you say?
Cloud.
Yeah, we were in cloud 9 actually.
Cloud9.
Yeah, but all our bubbles burst, and here we are in the ground zero. Yes, as you say.
But yeah, great introduction from.
So Rilwan, another thing about Rilwan, which I really love about him, is we used to stay together in Bangalore. I mean, on the QuizX itself, we thought we would move to Bangalore. So we will be under a single roof, we can work faster, but yeah, it was quite helpful. But what I have been observed about Rilwan is one of the core quality is cleanliness. He keeps things neat. So why I'm saying this is, he follows the same thing in QuizX. He likes to organize the code, keep it really neat. Um, he's been very insistent on keeping it like organizing it really well, saying it will really help for upcoming like talent.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
his code is pretty.
His code is pretty.
Yeah,
Yes,
that reminds
you
me
heard.
of not code gay,
Okay.
but yeah, his
Yeah.
code is very pretty. Yeah, you
Pretty.
can say that.
Yeah.
That will come to know in the while we release our.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one more thing is Rilwan has been very insistent on designer to developer communication. So this is one of the big mistakes we made. We don't know
Yes,
what is
yes,
the
yes.
importance of
Communication.
between design and to developers. I mean, we didn't know we have to be how clear. The communication has to be super duper duper clear, like razor sharp clear. So we used to just share abstract things. So Rilwan was insistent on how to, build a system like
How
for
detailed.
efficient communication between design and development. Yeah, you want to say anything?
Oh no, nothing.
Okay, let's come down to
Subodh.
the Subodh.
Hey. This is Subodh. Yeah, I mean, I met Clinton, I think recently, I would say 2 years ago, but he was my schoolmate. He was junior to me, and I think we did a collab science project, and I think it was great. But yeah, recently, I mean, before even discussing QuizX, what, I think one fine day it was raining a lot. We were going back home,
Oh, I
and
remember
then
that
we
day.
met at the same school, and that's where Clinton, showered his thoughts. That he wants to build something. Let's call it X. He wants to build X. But yeah, I mean, what we discussed back in time and today where we are is completely different, but the goal remains same, right?
The vision is the
making
same.
making the knowledge more what do you call, very mobile, versatile,
Yeah, dynamic.
dynamic. Yeah, dynamic is the right word.
Dynamic
Dynamic
was
is the
the
right
right
word. Yeah,
statement.
dynamic is the
Making
right statement.
Our vision statement was making knowledge dynamic for the idea-centric world. Yes. You guys remember?
Oh.
A lot of things happened after.
Yeah. Over the years, yeah.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's all from my side.
Okay, my name is Baptist, Clinton Baptist, and you could call me as the founder. I started QuizX in 2017, really, but not so officially. I just started QuizX as my passion for quizzing. I started as a fun project. I used to go to every colleges around in Bangalore, and I was happy that students loved what I did. Over the years, as I read more and more, my shorts shaped. And one fine day in 2020, in the pandemic, I was sitting alone at home, and the idea popped up. That made me realize the power of collaboration. I felt like I cannot build it alone. I mean, that day is long gone, okay? Back in 20th century, people could build something alone, like Einstein and Newton. I mean, just saying iconic example, but I'm not comparing this to that. So this is how I met all of them. Like I found talent and mutual trust, mutual respect. So this is my team, and actually I first met Rilwan, Arwin, Nirmal, and Shreyas. We pitched. We met it in. We met in CC Day. We discussed things like that. Very abstract idea. It was nothing clear, but just wanted to know if they are in. And then one fine day, I pitched my idea. They said we need a system architect. I'm like, we can't. I mean, this is too complex for us. We can't. Like, they were pretty young engineers back then. So, but I was betting on the learning curve from the day one. I knew nobody's perfect, nobody knows nothing, but given the time, they will learn. So that was my idea back then. So yeah, you guys did really. Yeah, great job. I mean, even I did. Even I've learned a lot. So then when they asked her, they need a system architect. I messaged Subodh. Hey Subodh, I knew Subodh. He's into crazy stuff. He was in blockchain engineer basically. He was in Goa developing blockchain technology. I was like, oh, Subodh is my neighbor. How can I miss him? I just pinged him on Instagram saying, um, hey Subodh, do you want to be a system architect? Yeah, I want to be one day, he said. I still remember. Then school, let's meet up. That's how we met in the school, our school. And that day, we are both scared of lightning. That day was, it rained cats and dogs, and it was like raining heavily, right? And I mean, it was thundering, lightning was crazy. That was also was a sign, maybe.
Not to do it.
Uh, we uh, we actually shared a lot of ideas. We were so blind with, we were bubbling with the passion. We gone to such extent talking that we were saying we have to build. I still remember, I used to tell Subodh that we used to build QuizX to a timeless limit. QuizX has to survive. It has to go to a point even when human goes to interplanetary mission, they have to communicate the knowledge to Earth, like anywhere, like through QuizX. So QuizX has to be a timeless knowledge platform.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good intro.
Yeah.
Let's keep it short.
Yeah. Cool. Now let's talk about QuizX. So we'll start it from you. What is QuizX for you?
Poor Nirmal. Takes the hit every time.
So yeah, I'm a kind of person whose interests keep changing from time to time. Be it color, be it cars. I don't know if I have ADHD or not, but that's how I am. So and like my friends or the people around me, they had interest of a specific area. Maybe they were into automobiles, or they were into music, anything else. But it varied a lot for me. Then I used to wonder if I was the only one, or are there people out there who thinks differently. And I mean, not in a normal way, yeah. And then that's when I started. That's when your quiz happened in my college, and then I realized, okay, so there are a lot of
psycho.
I mean, the way you crafted questions. That's when I realized, okay, thinking itself is an
Beautiful thing.
yeah, it's a beautiful concept. I mean, you can think about anything, but you never. Maybe you just a thought itself is enough for anything to boom, right? So. What do you say? That it's a seed. So when the quiz that you crafted, I've understood that in your quiz, it doesn't matter about the answer. It's about the way you think. It's about the how you connect it together and come up with the answer. And that, what do you say? It kept me intrigued. QuizX helps me make curious. I mean, you feel that there are a lot of people out there who are in the same wavelength, who are interested in all these things. I mean, you can relate one thing to another. I think that's what QuizX means to me.
For you, okay. What do you think QuizX is for you?
Okay, so when I tell about QuizX, I mean the just word QuizX. So a lot of people think that what we are building is we are building a quizzing platform, but that is not the truth.
True.
So yeah, even though me and Clinton, he used to take us for the quizzes. We used to we used to bunk classes and go for quizzes since we didn't want to attend the classes. We used to go for quizzes. So that was so again what quiz essentially is like a curiosity, like what do you know, how do you know, how do you think. So yeah, so QuizX for me is like it's an enabler that makes us think, and which brings us a lot of possibilities maybe in any stream.
Nice.
Yeah, so that is QuizX.
Nice.
Subodh.
It is actually a kid or a brainchild, you can say. That's for me. But how I want to portray it to people is, I mean, knowledge with action is, it can change your life, right? But what we can do is we can share that knowledge, we can help them to gain that knowledge. And then again, yeah, we cannot force people to take action, but at least what we can do is we can do the hard job maybe, or the first step, that share that knowledge, get that thoughts on to people's mind, and then see the world, come up with their own QuizX.
Yes, as you see, QuizX doesn't have its own like definition. So QuizX has two parts: quiz and X. So quiz stands for question or explore. X stands for unknown or possibilities. So it is question the unknown or explore the possibilities. So it doesn't have its own definition. You can take it as long as you want. So
Right.
that's what QuizX stands for. It's like the terminology. And,
The noun of it. I think the verb is the what you call.
Yeah, explore the
No,
possibilities.
it's the people generally know the word quiz as a verb means somebody is asking you something.
Yeah.
But it's not that. We are talking about the noun of that.
Correct.
Quiz X being a noun, and then it's being the definition of something.
Back when people used to ask me, what is QuizX? What is QuizX? I just used to just say, we are a tech company. Then what happened is a lot of edtech companies have popped up. Edtech companies building not good products, not so interesting products. Then I felt little ashamed, to call it a tech company. Then I twisted the terminology to knowledge tech company. But we are knowledge tech company actually, but not edtech is a small part of it. But what is our vision? Is mission statement is we are trying to build a great knowledge ecosystem end to end. Like we will talk about knowledge ecosystem like in a separate section. It's a huge topic. What we really want to build in simple terms is we want to build a catalyst for knowledge transfer, for the faster transfer of knowledge and for its faster adoption and application. So that's what our vision is, our goal is, and who QuizX is for. So we need to have our target audience, right? So who is this we are building for? We are building it for thinkers, good one. We are building it for
People.
The curious, especially one of the things, like the curious who have a thirst for knowledge. We are building it for the creatives who want to have fun with their imagination. We are building it for the doers who want to do stuff, create stuff before they die. If they have that feeling, before I die, I need to create. So these are the people who we stand for.
We are building it for the builders.
Yes, builders.
Yeah,
The doers are the
doers.
builders.
Yeah.
Doers are the builders. So this is our logo. When we see the logo, what do you guys see? I see possibilities, different permutation and combinations of, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You can
It's like a shuffled chessboard.
shuffle chessboard. Okay, that's the
More overlaid.
What it indicates is the possibility. So our logo itself is the possibilities, and you can imagine different set of patterns. You can imagine a different forms, shapes from our logo itself. So that what represents the possibilities. So Nirmal, you can show the possibilities that you have come up with about a QuizX logo. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is really nice.
A lot of thought
Lot
has
of-
went behind
Yeah,
the logo. Nice.
This one looks,
Which one?
the last two.
Yeah, the concept was aim was to create different sets of what do you say? Like what you said,
The main
permutations
logo,
and
different sets of the main logo
main
for
logo.
different products. Makes sense.
And even there are designers out there who want to join QuizX design team. Your first task is to draw possibilities out of the logo and send it to the email, which I'll be pasting it here. So that's how you will be hired if drawing out the possibilities from the logo. Yeah, great job. So that's about our logo. So now what we really believe in QuizX, we are really obsessed with knowledge at QuizX. Like we see the beauty in knowledge. We know its importance in empowering people, individual in a micro scale, as well the progress of humanity or the civilization in the macro scale. We are 8 billion people. How is that even possible on a small earth like this? It's all because of knowledge. We can house, provide shelter to all the 8 billion people because of our knowledge in reinforcement concrete, to architecture, to build 100-story buildings or even more.
Also the food.
The food, yeah. The fertilizer alone, which is responsible for saving 2 billion people. The invention of artificial fertilizer.
Right.
So the knowledge of agriculture, the breeding, though agriculture is underrated invention.
Actually, yeah.
So it's an invention. It's just a crossbreeding. Like, farmers 10,000, 15,000 years back, they just crossbred the grass, creating rice, crossbred the grass to create a sugar cane. That's the knowledge of, breeding. And look at where we have come. Like, we have so much accomplished. It's all because of knowledge. And that's why we would like to, work specifically in the knowledge sector. People have different perception about knowledge. When you ask people, oh, what is knowledge? It's a nerdy stuff. It's not so cool. We want to change that. We want to make it, knowledge is interesting. Knowledge is a box of possibility, right? So we want to change the perception associated with the knowledge. And also we see the beauty of knowledge in QuizX. Like beauty of knowledge is in the materialization. So we see the Red Bull can here. This is nothing but knowledge materialized, right?
Yeah.
Look at this. There is knowledge of aluminium mining from bauxite ore, right? So there's a production of material from the hydrometallurgy technique to make a can,
Caffeine.
the thickness of the can. Yes, there is the hydrometallurgy knowledge, mining knowledge, and as you said, caffeine. Where does it fall under to?
Yeah.
Food science,
Even the
nutrition science.
Even the font is Futura, if you
Yes,
recognize.
we will come there. Yeah, correct. Okay, there's a nutritional knowledge, nutritional science. We know how much caffeine we can intake every day, so that's also a knowledge. What is the extreme we can push? I think I have extreme.
Across all the extent.
Okay.
Yeah, we have seen it.
Okay. 4 Red Bulls a day once, twice. Not recommended. Tested the extreme. Okay, that's another knowledge in health science and also in the neuroscience, cognitive science, how it affects the caffeine affects the activity alertness. That's also knowledge materialized. And as Nirmal said, the font, the branding of it is also materialized here. The shape, how they represent their logo, and also how Red Bull is famous is because of marketing. The perception they created with the people, the perception of they are associated with extreme adventure.
Yeah.
I love extreme adventure, and that's one of the reasons why I like to associate myself with Red Bull or something. Maybe that has, they have created a perception about themselves in me that they're an adventure company. So there is the knowledge of marketing or perception or psychology, right? So, and the same psychology, the pricing, the economic, it cost 125 rupees. And there's an economic knowledge in pricing, pricing knowledge. So it cost 20-30 bucks, but the way they created the perception, they could sell that to 125 rupees. And they have showed the world you can sell this thing to 125 rupees. That's another knowledge in economics, if you talk about pricing. And what other thing? Okay, product design. Look at the lid system. And physical science, the carbonated chemistry. You open edges, what is the carbonated content we can handle inside the pressure. Physical chemistry, that's also another knowledge. All right. All these people who worked directly, indirectly to make a Red Bull. Like they didn't know, the person who was mining the aluminium didn't know that it is going to be a Red Bull one day, right? Something like that. So he contributed indirectly his skill or knowledge through an economic system which paid them well, the knowledge of economic system as well. So this is what knowledge materialized. This is what we see when we see a product. Oh, this is the knowledge went in here. So that's what we see. So if you are watching this video, your hardware, your software is knowledge materialized, information system. The space you are living in, it's materialized. Everything is knowledge materialized. So even the system you work, where you get monthly or hourly salary, again, knowledge materialized, economic and labor management, many things. So this is what we see. We are nerd about knowledge, just to show. Another thing about knowledge materialization is it takes another equally important component along with knowledge, that is imagination. So imagination is as important as knowledge. They are two faces of a coin. They go hand in hand. So what I believe, knowledge without imagination is useless. Imagination without knowledge is garbage. So you can imagine anything if it's not based on knowledge. What are you using it for? So if you know the knowledge but you're not applying any imagination, it's not so useful. So, and imagination adds a flavor into knowledge, and it brings out creative potential from the knowledge. And one more thing about imagination is it is unique to everyone. So everybody has a different imagination. So that's how imagination is our superpower. And there's one more equally important part in the component from knowledge and imagination, that is action, as both said then. So action is really important. If you want to materialize your ideas from knowledge to imagination, you need action, you need to act. So that takes courage, that takes discipline, that takes hard work, risk. So that's important. So that's where most people fail. They imagine many things, they have a lot of ideas, everybody has a lot of ideas.
True.
They say it's true, ideas are cheap.
Yeah.
But to act is the thing. Commitment, yeah.
Commitment.
Correct.
Commitment.
And you don't know whether it's going to be a reality or
Fruitful.
not. So,
Yeah.
correct. And we, at QuizX, we see three things: knowledge, imagination, action. And we keep these three things at the center of our product. And we design our product intentionally around the system to bring these three systems into people's life, work, or the lifestyle in a subtle way. Knowledge, imagination, and action. So this is our product philosophy. Yeah, this is what we believe in. So at QuizX, we are optimists. So as optimists, we believe that optimism in theory, it states that problems are because of insufficient knowledge. And every problem in the world is solvable. It's a mistake to consider that hard problems are not solvable because they're hard. No, every problem is solvable. It's just that we don't have enough knowledge. And there is no complete knowledge ever. So we are always far from complete. Think about how much we have to know. We not even know a speck of it, not even 0.1% of the knowledge in the universe. Right? We have so much to to generate, to know. We are far, far away, and I believe there is no complete knowledge.
We also lost a lot of knowledge.
That's one more. But
Yeah.
true, not because of lack of proper documentation system.
And also, it's wrong to think that something is not possible because of knowledge. I mean, you said this. What you said? Sorry.
No, it's a mistake to think hard problems are not likely to be solved.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's ethically wrong to think that, actually, right? To think something is not doable.
Yeah, that's what pessimists think. Any problem, any evil can be solved through knowledge. We don't have knowledge.
Given the knowledge, yeah.
Given the knowledge, yeah.
So the most important knowledge a civilization should possess is knowledge of detecting and eliminating errors in the progress.
Interesting.
By making errors.
Oh,
Yeah.
trial and error. Okay.
Trial and error.
Okay. So yeah, this is our philosophy. I mean, this is what we are. We all are optimists, right? I mean, otherwise we would have left long back.
Oh, yeah.
we would have stayed for 3 years, and
2 years, yeah.
cool. Anyways, this is about QuizX. Sorry for getting too philosophical or too nerdy about it, but we can't hide it. This is who we are. Anyways, and another thing is, you guys want to add anything on that knowledge and ecosystem? knowledge and imagination. Otherwise, we can move on to knowledge ecosystem.
I think you pretty much summed it up. I mean, as simple as our logo says, right?
Yes.
There is infinite amount of possibilities.
Possibilities.
Yeah, you can
Possibilities,
imagine.
yes.
So
Infinite amount of
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are good. We can move on to the next topic.
Cool. Now let's talk about our vision and mission in great detail. Like we will, it's a brainstorming time, guys. So we'll talk about knowledge ecosystem in detail. Knowledge ecosystem sounds boring, but how do we visualize it? Like you can think of it as an internet, like network effect of internet, or the web is the appropriate word. So
Tree,
it's
I
all
guess.
about it's just like network here and there. It's like communication between computer. It's actually information transfer happens in the internet over the web. I'm just trying to make you guys how to visualize it. So we are just building exclusively for the knowledge ecosystem, transfer of knowledge. Okay, let's start from knowledge generation. So when we think about knowledge generation, what do we think of? Scientists, researchers, they generate new knowledge to like discover new knowledge. So
I mean,
I can think of anything as a knowledge, like
no, knowledge generation.
generation.
Yeah,
New
new
generation. I mean, I did not think that deep. I thought every second there is a new knowledge coming up. I mean, the moment you asked me,
Yeah.
I was thinking about something, right? So, it's a graph. I know for every millisecond there's a new thinking and there is a new knowledge.
Yeah, who is generating that? Scientists, right?
It's
Humans.
Humans.
Yeah,
Neurons.
Okay.
It's neurons. Humans.
Correct.
Yeah.
Neurons.
Neurons.
So
What do you think? What is your definition?
no, there's no definition. Like who do we think of? Like scientists, right? And that's what I like. Scientists and researchers. They're
If you
the-
think deep, yeah.
And when we are building an ecosystem, this is the important aspect. Knowledge generation. We should cater to scientists and researchers directly or indirectly for them to generate knowledge. And how do we do that? So maybe through helping them with computing, because scientists need a lot of computing. So, we can't afford a supercomputer down the line, even if you are super profitable. Like that's a $1 billion project. Only governments can afford that. We can insist the government, we can lobby the government to build a supercomputer, and like we can service the supercomputer. Let the government invest in supercomputers, and we can help them in servicing supercomputing and providing computing power for scientists to generate more knowledge. That's one of the way to help generate knowledge.
When you say new knowledge that doesn't exist now,
Doesn't exist now, like something.
like you almost like a generative AI.
Yeah, that's going to help in
Take cross domain knowledge and then build a new knowledge upon that. Is that
No,
what you're
suppose
thinking?
you don't know it. Okay, you are. Okay, let's talk about areca nut. So there are so many things to be discovered about areca nut, bioactive compounds, efficient way of growing areca nut. There's a lot of ways to grow. The microbiome. How do we? What microbes we can use to, fertilize the palm tree, so they can produce a lot of areca nut per unit square meter. So can take any domain. There's so many things to be discovered. So that's what I mean by knowledge generation.
Right.
So
But
and
also when
okay.
you said, when you said about scientists,
Mhm.
it's not just for them; it's for everyone, irrespective of their domain.
Yeah.
Anyone
Still
can
use it
generate
and
knowledge.
gain something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Even for economists.
Economists, yeah.
For like
Just
they
wanted
would
to make
be
it out, put
correct,
it out there.
correct.
that
Even they are the researchers.
It's for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. I meant researchers. Broadly.
Right.
Economist is a research. Anybody who is trying to, like, research something or generate something new is a researcher.
Right.
So even economists, they can look at macroscopic data from different countries, and they need a lot of calculation and statistics. They would need a supercomputer. We can help them, directly, indirectly help them to generate new knowledge. Or maybe we can build our own cloud for scientists, which is very personalized for a knowledge generation field. Right now, the cloud application mainly is on the corporate to store data. I mean, and there are many things. We haven't gone to a depth, so we can go to a depth and see what happens in knowledge generation and help scientists see, or we can see the friction, where is the problem here, and then we can, help speed up the process of knowledge generation. That's one of the way. And second way, obviously, we are building platform for them to collaborate. So that is upcoming product that we will be revealing it soon. So where scientists from different fields and domains can collaborate, bring out the cross-field collaboration. So building out platforms for scientists is another indirect way. For you need a collaboration, right, to generate new knowledge. Is the first step. So we can enable that. And another main thing is funding. Presently, scientists depend on governments and companies, private or public, for research. There is less, traction on citizen funding. Crowdfunding, on science. There have been crowdfunding on products and businesses, but not specifically on knowledge generation. So it would take a long time to educate people on the importance of knowledge.
You mean to democratize the research?
Not so. We can't. You can't really, depend on people for funding on everything. So
yeah, there are a lot of issues with the research. Why do companies, whenever there is any research comes out, people usually say that company has funded that research. So maybe there is some bias. So maybe to take out that bias.
Not really.
They
they
own
deserve it.
objectives.
Even if you are funding our own research, we would like to have our name. We also we have been part of something like that.
That's a bold statement to say.
I'm not. That's.
Yes.
What?
We cannot take credits for.
No, not credits. Funded by something.
Funded by all
suppose you did a nuclear fusion experiment. That's a big thing. So government would like to have their name, funded by Department of Energy.
Right. They can
Lawrence Department of Nuclear Physics.
Right.
They need why would it's because of the initiative. They believed why would you fund $1 million on you don't know. So they deserve, the funders deserve the name. Yeah, of course.
Now, what he was trying to say is, imagine a pharma company, there's someone in the company researching, they would create a new paper.
They own it.
They own it, but the company...
They own it.
The person does not own it.
The
company
motive behind, the research.
Deeply what you mean is open research and closed research.
Yes.
There is open knowledge, which is open for all. There's a closed knowledge which stays within the company. There's a big debate, actually. Even if you are funding a research, risking it, then you can patent it. You patent it. That's the protection the capitalism gives for the risk you took, for taking risk. Otherwise, people don't take risk if there was not reward. Another thing is, main problem in knowledge generation is most of the funding is funded by government. So what is government? The taxpayers' money, right?
Yeah.
So most of the research goes to publications when they publish the paper. And those publications are not free. You have to pay over $30, over $1,000 for research created by, and another irony is here, that money doesn't go to scientists. That goes to the publication. And on that, as a scientist, you have to pay the money sometimes for the journals to publish the research paper. And that's the scenario right now. Knowledge generation, knowledge transfer, knowledge publication. And right now, the thing is, the US, they recently brought up this rule. Maybe in 2026, they're saying all the research funded by US has to be open. It shouldn't be sealed behind the closed publication, which sits behind the paywall, because it was funded by the U.S. taxpayers' money. Taxpayers deserve the. Like, I'm not saying the. I mean, like.
No, I mean the CIA projects. They're always, it's taxpayers' money, but
Yeah.
you know,
It's confidential.
That's
Yeah.
different, the defense and intelligence, but that's on the information part, not on the knowledge part of it. Yeah.
okay, if you say so.
Yeah. What we can do is we can help scientists on crowdfunding. In a sense, suppose Subodh wants to do a project on Arecanut, and what he can do is can write a white paper about it, telling what he wants to accomplish through this project. And there are a lot of Arecanut growers in Mangalore, and all the this will go to their phone and they'll see the white paper. Okay, this can benefit us if this is a success, and people can fund it part by part. I mean, no, I'm saying this is highly probable to fail. Okay, this model. But say this, I mean, could be a way of
People can fund it.
people can fund their based on their own self-interest. Why would they fund it? Because he is working on Arecanut, which is the economical backbone of Mangalore. One of the you could say 10% of Mangalore economy comes from Arecanut or something. So this is a selfish goal. People can fund it because if Subodh finds out more potential from Arecanut, it benefits the society as well. So yeah, that's one of the way to bring out the funding, like crowdfunding. So that's one of the way we can help the knowledge generation process. So what happens after knowledge generation is knowledge verification, knowledge authentication. That's the next step. So suppose somebody made a research. We have to authenticate if that knowledge is true or not, right? It shouldn't simply, be published everywhere and without any critical, look at it, due diligence at it. So what will happen is if Subodh publishes a research, he discovered new knowledge in something. So it has to, it goes to all the colleagues who are working in the similar domain. Suppose Subodh made a research on Arecanut, he discovered something new. And we have to verify that knowledge before that goes to the literature. Peer-to-peer review, so peer review process. So it has to go to different people who are working on Arecanut, and they will question Subodh on why did you do this way? Okay, why was that? Okay, what's the result? They critically analyze, question, and that's how they review it. So if there's a majority vote, then it's approved. Okay, this is true. Okay, this is true for the present scientific understanding, and that's how the knowledge is authenticated. Okay. And that way we can imagine that's where publication come in picture. So once it's peer-to-peer reviewed, it goes to the publication. So we can do something here. So we have to build a system where if somebody's done a research, that paper has to go to anonymous people. We should know what scientists are working on, like what are the domains on specifically, and the paper is spread across everyone to peer review. Out of that, not everyone would review it, but some of them would do. We have to reward them with something we don't know. That's the abstract idea I have. So that's how we can build a system of knowledge authentication at QuizX. So don't you think of using blockchain here, like huge network effect here?
What I was thinking is maybe what we are discussing just 1% of what we are envisioning.
Yeah. I mean, this is
There's
coming step by step.
Way more
Step by
than
step.
what we are thinking, planning for our brainchild, right?
This is step by step.
Step by
Coming
step.
from knowledge
Okay.
generation to knowledge verification.
Okay. Good.
Then is knowledge transfer. Once knowledge is verified, it goes to scientific literature.
Could you repeat that? Like the steps.
Okay, knowledge generation.
Right.
Then knowledge authentication.
Okay.
That's my term. I don't know. We can call it that way.
Yeah.
Knowledge verification.
Right.
Okay, verifying it's true or not, whether we can trust this knowledge or not. Okay, so then it goes to, it's ripe enough for knowledge transfer. Okay, if it's a very interesting knowledge, like suppose somebody discovered the cause of baldness, or why the air is turning gray or something.
Why?
That's a good article for media to pick up. because that would create a very click-worthy title, and they would, many people would like to know why the hair is turning gray. So those are the knowledge, spread across faster, right? And unless if it's a breakthrough knowledge, like something in nuclear fusion, something happened in battery, or something like which everybody awaits for, uh, that is like published fast. So most of the knowledge is not decimated across the public. It just sits under scientific literature, so that we can go back to refer to, right? So here's the interesting part, that knowledge scientific literature, right? Here the things may change here with the advent of AI, especially on natural language processing. Now computer can understand a language, and they can also think about it. And with that, with the natural language processing, there's something called what do you call that, semantic web, where content inside the web communicate with each other without human intervention. So that is going to be breakthrough, I feel, and that is the evolution of web, where content itself will interact with each other, and and they form the what do you call it, summarize on their own. It will really change the knowledge industry, the advent of NLP and semantic web on scientific knowledge literature. Now what would really happen is content, the research paper, like the knowledge would interact with each other and creates a knowledge graph. Okay, it lays out a big knowledge graph. And now, as a scientist, if I want to work on that, I would just have to see the knowledge graph, what has been discovered. And another most important thing here is what we don't know, the knowledge gap.
The X.
That's important. Yeah, that you call it as X. You can call it as X. The knowledge gap. Okay, where is the opportunity? Where is the jigsaw puzzle? Like, you can take it as a puzzle. So there we can do something actually, like, working on producing knowledge graph down the line, okay? Working on producing knowledge graph where scientists can see the knowledge gap where they can contribute. And that will be, if they contribute something, that the name would be there. Like, this would be the knowledge progression of humanity. It should be like that. Like, it goes and grows and grows and grows. The graph grows big. And also we have to find X's, as Rilwan said, here and there, the patches. So scientists can see where they have to fill the patches. So that's a big impact we can make there. Yeah, that's about the boring part of the ecosystem, very pretty niche to scientists and researchers. Now let's come back to our main thing, the foundational thing, the education. So what is education to you guys?
Right, I mean, just want to say something. This is not coming as a new for us because we had this discussion countless times.
Okay.
Maybe we are not reacting it because we know it. We discussed it too many times.
Okay.
Right.
I think I
but
forgot.
it's for the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, let's start with your question. Yeah.
What is education for you?
So education for me would be, which makes our lives better, with which we can earn our livelihood. I mean, through which, we can earn our livelihood. Also, the experiences which we can, maybe push it to the future generation, and also the experience we got from the past.
That's a good
generation.
one. Yeah.
That is education for me.
Right.
So education is fundamental, is nothing but a transfer of knowledge
Yes,
from one
transfer,
generation to the next.
transfer of knowledge.
Correct.
And how to use that, it's not just education, you should know how to, go about it. Like how do I have learned something, how do I use it? How do I use it positively?
That's on the individual level. Yeah.
Applying it.
Yeah, applied.
Correct.
Yeah, education. Yeah, I would like to redefine the word education to learning. Like whatever you learn in a day, that's my education. And how I apply, like what Rilwan said, how I apply, or is it benefiting me? Basically, the thought, that's what, if there is a minor thought out of all the countless reels or stories or anything that I see, if there's anything that's making me think about something new rather than what I've been thinking about or doing about throughout the day, maybe that's what education is for me.
Okay. So you mean the self-learning part of it?
Yeah, self-learning or anything, like anything. It can be anything. Basically, it starts from a thought. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So I think the definition of education for me is some data which will make me to move particular thing to near perfection. You get my point?
No, I didn't get it. Okay.
Right. So you learn something.
Hey, wait, man.
No, it's okay. No worries. Right. So you asked what is education for me, right? You have a system right now.
Okay.
Right. That system with the new learning and the new education you just learned, right? Then what happens is you are trying to make the system better now, right? So you had a different understanding, right? You learned something new. Now you have a better understanding of something.
New perspective.
New perspective. Basically, you're trying to achieve everything to near perfection. Right?
Optimizing it.
Optimizing every day, everything in your life,
Nice.
right? Every action you do, right? That's I think what education is for me. Yeah.
Nice. Fundamentally, if you look at education system, right, it's nothing but like a school. If you imagine our own school, it's just a transfer of knowledge from like one generation to another. Like this system, I mean, not education. Education
The
system.
the same knowledge.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was
correct.
happening 10 years ago. That's the same knowledge that's
Correct.
transferring even now.
Yeah, I mean, fundamental has to be basic, has to
Yeah.
be the same.
Built, yeah.
So I see a lot of frictions out there in the like transfer, a lot of hurdles from the from this generation also there's friction, and this generation is also friction. So we want to create a great experience which can take away the friction and a great experience around knowledge. And our first product, which is campus centered around education, which aims to do just the same, like achieve, make education interesting, fun, and collaborative. So this is the foundation of civilization. This is how knowledge is transferred, right? So this is really, really important. This is one part of knowledge ecosystem. And another part is knowledge transfer. This happens through, education is one form of knowledge transfer. Other examples for knowledge transfer are consultancy. It's like big industry. People can share knowledge for their livelihood or for like economic reward. We can help enable that. And there is knowledge transfer within the company, within the organization, which has to be kept behind the walls, pretty secretive. We can also enable that. And there's another called knowledge consumption. This is where people consume knowledge. It could be in the form of reading, listening, watching. So, and another thing, I mean, here we can make an impact by targeting the right knowledge to the right user at the right time. So that's really important down the line. It's a big challenge for us doing that, like targeting the right knowledge to the right user at the right time. So that means we will be pushing the user every day intellectually and
Not tracking them. And not tracking them.
we just want curiosity data.
To push the right content to right people. What generally people think is, you're going to track them. You're going to...
Okay.
Check out their
we
data.
just want a curiosity. We want to know what they're curious in, and not the secret curiosity, but the curiosity they want to reveal.
Fantasy. It's secret fantasy.
Okay, it's also one part of one type of knowledge.
Correct.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
Let's not go into that.
I mean, humanity should continue.
Yeah. Of course. Next is knowledge documentation. So documentation could be in the form of notes, our own notes, and also library. So we have a beautiful plan that we hope it comes to fruition. It's called Knowledge Spectrum. So and most importantly, knowledge application. So this is the most exciting part of our mission, to bring out the potential from knowledge, to bring out the action culture with knowledge, and bring people together to bring out something new, do something, build something. So this is where they apply. So this whole constitute knowledge ecosystem, and this is our mission, to build multi platforms. We can't do this in a single platform, right? So impossible to do. I mean, it's not a rational thing to do also. I mean, we are a mission led company. This is our mission. So this can't be accomplished in 1 or 2 years. This is probably a decade worth of work. So we are sharing this here in this podcast, even though it's boring, because it has to be clear that we were clear with our mission from day one, right?
Right.
So this is why we bought this topic, and I hope we look back our podcast when we are low and watch this and re-inspired by our own podcast and not give up. I hope so. So
Especially
yeah,
this knowledge spectrum, I think that's a very important topic that that is something we are discussing since the beginning,
Yes.
which
Yes, I
very innovative, which concludes all the steps that Clinton just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Targeting great knowledge.
we have a user experience
Correct.
plan for that.
Wow,
Very
it's
interesting. Yeah.
amazing.
Right.
It's we what do you call it? Next generation library. Sorry for interrupting. Subodh warned me not to interrupt, but I couldn't contain my excitement.
Exactly. I mean, we all know that. But yeah, there's a UX being planned for that, and yeah, it's gonna be great to hear the feedback of that from the users. How do they will get out of that UX? Because what is knowledge spectrum is nothing but we are trying to harness everything and presenting the whole knowledge ecosystem to the people
Yeah,
in the modern web way, right? The
playful way.
playful way. It is very important, but yeah, it's a long way
I
to
think
go.
we still have 2 years for that.
Yeah, it's a long way to go,
Like,
right?
Because I mean, knowledge is a broad field, like different levels. I mean, different fields. It gets special and special, like specialization. There's new field created every day. There's another field called clear dynamics. Recent. You know what's clear dynamics? Is the hybrid of history and mathematics to predict the future. You mathematically model the history to predict the future. So new fields are coming up. So, and this is the future of knowledge, the high specialization. We have to take that in our mind also when we're designing knowledge spectrum. And knowledge is also based on levels. Like it starts from easy, like for beginners and medium people, and it's for medium level. It's like hard and for ultra legends. So, like we have to look in that aspect as well. Targeting, like what is the right knowledge for that user. Can that user understand this level of knowledge? That's really difficult job to do. Like we will get there. So yeah, anything on the knowledge ecosystem you guys have to say to?
I think it's not easy to understand everything at once.
Yeah, no, not
Yeah,
at all.
Right.
Not at
All
all.
the
Start
steps
so
you
step
just
by step.
described.
Correct.
But yeah, take its time, take a moment to think about it, and it also was it was very tough for us to even represent that,
Even to visualize.
even to
Yeah,
plan these
visualizing.
things. I remember.
Subodh has a tough job by being an architect for the information flow, and when I used to show him the plan, everybody used to cheer. Oh, Subodh is like worried. How do I design this? Okay, the information.
The thing
flow.
is, Clinton used to come up with a lot of ideas every time, and I have to step down his energy and
Exactly.
That's always there.
get him to the practical ground, and okay, this is something what we can do with what we have right now.
With the resources
with,
present.
with the resources what we have, but yeah, I mean, he was always excited because there is so much you can think in this project. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much ideas you can get out of this project, and he always used to explain that to me because he wants me to build the architecture to
Think of the big picture.
adapt into the big picture or the vision what comes next.
Yeah, that
But
was
yeah,
my
the
intention
tough
actually,
job
yeah.
is to get him down to the practical
Reality.
ground.
Yeah,
Reality.
that has
been
Get
my
him down to the
training.
reality, and
I would admit I used to be very stupid on that.
yeah, I can admit that.
But I know what's the reality, and yeah, through learning, guys, through this, yeah.
Exactly, knowledge.
Then anybody would like to share anything in knowledge ecosystem? I mean, yeah, whatever I spoke about knowledge ecosystem is just superficial. I don't know. I mean, this is from the top level view. So when we are building, when we're designing, we have to go a lot deeper. We have to see a fundamental, like how it really happens, how it really flows. So it's going to be very complicated system that we're going to build. So and it's going to be worth it. It has to be timeless. Our mission, our arrogance is on timeless, making QuizX timeless. It has to withstand time. That's another. I mean, the bold statement.
It's time to get back Clinton to the reality. Right. I mean, we
make
note
a
down,
reality.
we tick that every time. We know it's not that we are ignoring them or we are not taking the note of it. We do
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Yeah.
Baby steps.
That's the way to go.
Cool.
I think people are just waiting for the product.
And that's why I just.
When the fuck do you launch that, dude?
So this is about QuizX and what we are aiming to build. So wish us luck. We have decades worth of work to do, and we will be launching our first product in the next video. Stay tuned for that. So yeah, you guys like to add anything?
Stay tuned. Thanks for having us. I mean, thanks for the setup too.
Thanks for
Royal
the
logo.
setup. Thanks to Rachana for her studio, for giving us space. If you're watching, Rachana, thank you. And, thanks for making you wait. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry for that. And
we are
okay,
all
Roy,
drained
please
out.
come forward, show your face, and for your beautiful effort in setting up this. What do you guys say? Big claps for Royal for setting up.
Professional.